Going on, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. K-Rino. Um, I don't know why every time I come on here live, I feel like it's been a long, long time. I don't know why I feel like that when it was just a few days ago. But I guess because in between the time frame that I've been going live, I've been doing a lot of other stuff. I've been pretty busy. So I guess that's why I feel like that. But um, one thing I'll say is tonight, I'm really not going to be a long time, but I haven't done a live stream. I mean, an open topic in a minute. So I think that it's time to do an open topic, but I still will be touching on some of the current events that you really can't ignore, and I'm sure y'all will probably ask me about anyway. So this being open topic, y'all know the rules. This is your opportunity to ask me whatever you want to ask me, and within reason. Uh, this is the maturity zone, so I don't deal with or address grown babies. So if you're a grown person based on how old you are, you're 18, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, um, conduct yourself like you are that age. And usually, to be honest with you, man, it's not the it's not the youngsters that be trolling and acting silly and acting childish. It's usually people in their mid 30s, late 30s, and 40s. Those are usually the people that are immature and childish on here. I don't understand that. Y'all supposed to be the mature adults. Y'all got children and families, but that's another story. Um, but feel free, if I know the answer, or if I think I know the answer, I will answer the question. Or if it's just something you want me to touch on, let me know. It could be music related, it could be current event related, it could be whatever. If I know it, I'll show it. But hit the like button as y'all come in. Y'all know I always say this every time, man. Y'all hit that like button as y'all come in. Don't come in without clicking the like button. And the reason why I say it all the time, because people say, oh, you're trying to get likes. Yeah, I'm trying to get likes, crazy person, simply because the more likes that a video gets, the more exposure that it potentially can gain, because it gains the potential to pop up in different recommended uh, videos and sections where people are just randomly scrolling. You might see your big brother just pop up over there if I can get some action like that. So if y'all rock with me, then you should have no problem wanting to make sure that other people rock with me, whether it be my music, whether it be the contents of my mind and what I believe in, what I stand on. If y'all share those philosophies, hit that like button. Let's try to spread it out. We're gonna get it going, man. Because like I said, I don't plan on being on here a long time tonight. I want to shout out to my brother Point Blank. I just did an interview with Point Blank, South Park Coalition OG, and that video is up on my channel right now. And when I tell y'all, man, that's one of the better interviews that I've conducted in terms of the content that my brother was putting out there. We talked about a little bit of everything that's going on currently, but we connected it to situations from the past and how he was able to handle those situations based on how people are handling them now. So I would recommend, not just because it's my channel, but I would recommend that y'all watch that entire interview with Point Blank, man, my SPC brother, man. Let me see what's going on. We're going to get right into it because this is open topic number 14, I think. If we already did 14, then that means I misnumbered it. But let me see. Y'all coming right out the gate, huh? Kyle case. One nominal Latino Kyle case. And I'm assuming you're talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse case and the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. First of all, man, let me explain something to y'all, man. Two angles that I'm looking at this from, and I'm not going to stay on it long at all, man. Number one, you should not be surprised that that was the verdict. That's number one. You should not be surprised that they found him not guilty on all charges. Why are we shocked? Why are we upset and outraged and flipping out? Also, from another angle, because I understand how black people are looking at that. Black people are looking at it like, well, man, if he was black, this would have happened. If he was black, look, he didn't kill no black people. I don't condone killing anybody, and it's unfortunate that anybody had to die who's coming out to participate in the protest or whatever they were out there to do. I'm sure they didn't come out there to lose their life, and it's definitely unfortunate. But the fight that we've been fighting as black people, hey man, we got work to do. We got work to do, and we can't be surprised and shocked when this system protects its own. You can't be surprised and shocked. We saw all of the coddling and all of um, the love that the judge was showing you. The writing was on the wall from the beginning, but that's not something that I'm focused on. This guy getting off because kind of felt like he would, and like I say, they look out for their own. So let's move on and let's continue to fight the fights that directly affect us. Let me see what else y'all got. Kill You Crew. Been having a hard time staying positive. Hope everyone doing well. Yeah, it's understandably hard to stay positive in the world that we live in right now because we're surrounded by so much negativity. We're surrounded by so much evil, surrounded by so much hate, surrounded by so much murder and rape and lies and deception and poison and anything you can name. We're surrounded by it on a daily basis. The things that come across our vision, the things that enter into our ears, the things that absorb into our minds. So it's definitely more difficult to find positivity than it is to find negativity. Positivity is like the needle in a haystack, and the hay is the negativity. So what you have to do is focus on God, focus on your inner peace, focus on knowing the fact that you control your reality. All the things that are going on around you, they don't control your reality. You are in command of what you allow to weigh you down. And if you start focusing on that so much, then maybe it's time to turn the TV off for a little while. Maybe it's time to start listening to different types of music, listen to the things that operate on a higher vibration. Maybe it's time to focus more on the creator and that inner peace. If there are negative people around you, then maybe it's time for you. No, maybe it is time for you to start separating yourself from the negative people that may be bringing you down. So you have that power. You absolutely have that power. So don't let that overtake you. DMV, what's up? I see you, Mr. Mechanical. Appreciate your Vanjie. Appreciate the love and the blessing. Same to you. Um, 74 Red MC says, are there any particular songs that come to mind that were the most difficult to write? The most difficult to write. There have been some songs that I made that I worked on for days. I would mess with them, and I come back, mess with them, come back, and that took days and days and days. And I wouldn't necessarily say it was because they were difficult to write. It's just that some of the songs had to be tended to with a certain degree of detail to where I needed to be fully energized anytime I sat down to work on it. Because sometimes I'll write until I'm just like this. I'll just be this. And just like anything, if your body is tired and you are an athlete, then you're not going to perform at the highest level if your body is tired. You're not going to run as fast. You're not going to jump as high. You're not going to be as intense, and your stamina is not going to be up as high. It's the same thing when it comes to the mental. When your mental is tired, then you have to push away from the table and recharge your battery and come back. So now it wasn't any particular songs that necessarily were hard to write. That were just certain songs that I had to write over the course of days. And I would probably say Grand Deception was one. I would probably say Annihilation of the Evil Machine was one, and I'm sure that's other ones that I'm just not remembering. Walaikum Salam, Osama, Chi-Town in the building, man. I see you out there. Let's see what y'all got, man. Vanjie says, I think that age group is confused and worried about what is going on today. You mean the younger generation? If you're talking about the younger generation, yeah, you know, they're confused, but guess what? They're not the only ones confused. There are a lot of people in the older generation confused because a lot of times the younger generation have the mindset they have because of the failures of the older generation. So there are things that we didn't do to properly equip and prepare them. And so now they just kind of out here on their own. If we're having children at younger ages where it's like you got the parents are 28 and the child is 14, you know, even 30 and 14, and the condition, the cycle of the condition that we come up in never changes, then the child doesn't really have much to go on in terms of building and establishing themselves as positive people and getting off to that good start. So yeah, they are confused, but you know, we right there with them, and in some cases we are responsible. What's up, Jovan? I see your nephew. I see you, Lester. See if y'all got anything for me. Yeah, not surprised at all. This would definitely spark a discussion, and hopefully good things can come from it. Yeah, you know, absolutely. I mean, we have to understand, you know, and I speak as Black people and Latino people, we have to understand that this system wasn't designed for us. This system has been letting off its killers and murderers forever, since it was a system, and it's designed to do so, and they don't care who likes it or who don't like it. So we're the ones that don't seem to understand, and we keep being outraged and putting our hair out. I can't believe it. How can you not believe it? How can you not believe something? That's like watching a movie and the ending, whatever happens at the end of that movie, it shocks you the first time you see it. Then you watch the same movie again. The ending is not going to change. So then you watch it. That second time, it might still get you like, oh man, but by the time you saw this movie 15 times, why are you still shocked and at the ending? By now you should know how it's going to end. Be shocked when it don't end. How would you feel if you watched the movie 15 times and it ended one way, then you watch that same movie the 16th time and somehow it ended differently? Then you would be shocked. Then you would be shocked. Shakespeare in the building. Much love. That's Kiro Sheep. Appreciate that. One word for us all, unity. Yeah, unity is the key, man. Unity is the key. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that our unity is stronger than an atomic bomb. So what does that tell? What does that tell us? That tells us that when we come together as a people, then it's explosive. There's nothing that can stop it. And what does a bomb do? And a bomb destroys and causes destruction and anything in its wake. And we can destroy disunity. We can destroy injustice. We can destroy corruption. We can destroy police brutality. We can destroy racism. We can remove that stuff by coming together and creating that explosiveness that comes together when we unify, just by doing that. Jovan says, I have low self-esteem. Look, if you have low self-esteem, that means that you have not discovered who you are yet. You have not discovered your gift. You have not delved and dipped deep into the greatness of who you are. And the best way to start doing that, I spoke at a school today. I was one of the speakers at a high school today, and I was blessed to be on a panel with my big brother and one of my mentors, Dr. Abdul Halim Muhammad, and he just broke it down so sweet. When he talked about, he was telling the young people in the school about how at the time of conception, when your mother and your father come together to make you, to conceive you, billions and billions of sperm are released from your father into your mother. All of those billions of sperm, Jovan, they are racing towards a destination. They are racing towards a destination. That destination is the egg, because the intelligence that God puts in just the sperm itself, he placed an intelligence into that sperm that automatically knows exactly where it's supposed to be racing to. And from the time of ejaculation, all those sperm, they running, or they swimming, or they flying, or whatever they doing in there, they are trying to get to that egg, because they understand that reaching that egg guarantees their survival. So what you got to understand when you say that you got low self-esteem, you have to understand that out of all those billions of sperm that were headed for that egg, you the one that made it. Jovan, you are the one that made it. So when you look at it from that angle, you have already done something incredible before you even realized that you were doing it. You didn't even have a brain. You didn't even have arms and legs. None of that stuff was even developed yet, because that doesn't develop until you merge into the egg, and then that process begins. So then to push it a little further, bro, when you were born, you've already done two of the hardest things that you're going to ever do in your life, and that's make it to that egg and actually come into birth. See, you can say, well, man, I can't do this, or I don't know how to do this. I'm not good at this. I'm not smarter. Man, you were born and didn't even know how to be born, but you did it anyway. Your mother was pushing, but you had a job to do too. So that alone tells you that you got a purpose, you got a reason to be here. So your low self-esteem now stems from the point that you don't understand that part of your greatness, and you have not figured out what it is that you're good at and what you're here to do. Once you find out what you were born to do, you're not going to have low self-esteem, bro. And nobody can instill that in you, because you say, well, hold on, man, I'm pretty good at this mathematics thing. I'm pretty good at building stuff. I'm pretty good at writing these lyrics. I'm pretty good at handling this basketball. So once you figure out what you're good at and you're dominant in that, you're not gonna have low self-esteem no more, man. Just figure out what you want to be, nephew. You know what it is. Truth of TV says, what's your thoughts on Freemasonry? Not talking about Prince Hall neither. I'm talking about the white membership particularly. Well, I mean, you got to understand that the Masons, or the Made Sons, the Masons, they were white people who they studied Islam in secret, in the secret societies, and in the Masonic lodges. They studied Islam. They had Qurans, and a lot of the founding fathers of this country, they were Masons. They subscribed to Masonry, but they also understood the secret. They also knew about Hiram Abiff. They knew the secret, and they knew that secret was the black man. They were sworn to secrecy to not give up those secrets at the cost of death, because when they discovered who the people of God were, they couldn't tell that secret, because it would expose them, and it would expose their corruption. So these were the same people that were owning slaves and keeping black people enslaved, and they knew the truth, but they didn't tell it, and then they remixed it. So yeah, they were Masons, but they were Made Sons. They're not They're not the original, man. They don't even have all of the degrees of knowledge, So Hope I answered your question a little bit. Appreciate that, Jake. Brother Christopher X, my brother. Salam alaikum, Brother Chris. I've been reading The Theology of Time by Elijah Muhammad for the past few days. I'm at part 2 now. The mother will is a whole other story within itself. Yes. Yes, indeed, bro. And in The Theology of Time, he went into such detail talking about the will. He went into more detail than I've seen or read in any other books or in any of the publications that I've come across. Him talking about the will, when he just the baby planes that inside the will, and the specifics of the destruction that that the will is going to cause. And yeah, bro, you're right. It's a whole other story within itself, family. You got me wanting to brush up and whip my theology. And then if you got the same theology of time that I got, hold on, let me get my book out. I want you to see this, brother, because I want to see if this is the book you have. Because this is pretty thick. Now, let me say this now. Hold on. This book, just so I'll be clear, this book is not the book I have. It's not from the Chicago. It's not under the publishing, but this is the book I have. Somebody gave me this book many years ago, and you can see how thick it is, and you see the messenger on the book. But I'm not going to act like this is a book directly from the mosque, but a lot of the teachings are in there, but I would love to get the actual, if there is an actual copy of this book. But he did go into deep detail on the mother will in this book. But I just have to make sure that I say that before I talk like this is the definite article. I'm not gonna do that. Y'all see the little thing, that's dust, coming from the book. A lot of people say, man, you got orbs flying around. Nah, that's just dust. Let me see. Lester Smith said, how long did it take for perpetual ascension? I wrote that over the course of a few days, probably 2 or 3 days. It took me to lay that out on perpetual ascension, which is, one of people's favorite books. Favorite songs of mine. Jovan, everybody got a purpose, bro. That's why I use the term find your purpose. You may not know it. Some people find their purpose at 2 years old, 3 years old, maybe playing a piano or something like that. You got to find it. But what you can't do, what is not acceptable, bro, is a defeated attitude. You can't be, I'm not good. That's not what gods do. That's not what men do. Men figure it out. You got to figure it out, bro. You got to be strong, and then let your story help somebody else down the line. You got to man up. Feel like I'm missing something, y'all. Divine Hazel Eyes, do you think the world will finally wake up and take back what was conquered, especially nature and earth? Well, when you say the world, you mean the people? This world is going to be destroyed. This world is on its way out. Nature and earth, the earth belongs to God. So I wouldn't worry too much about nature and the earth if I was you. Nature and the earth are going to be fine. A lot of people are, global warming and okay, and all that's fine. But trust and believe, God is going to restore. He's going to make all things new. And that includes the people. So those who don't get it together will be flushed out. But The world represents a system, a mindset. So the world is out. This world is done. This world is out of there. Respect Gaming Team says, what about the reptilians that walk among us? Please do elaborate. Tell us about the reptilians. I hear a lot of people talk about the reptilians. I know of people with reptilian characteristics and qualities and things of that nature. But I'm sure you're talking about actual reptilians, because I've heard about people that talk about that as well. There are actual reptilians living among us. I've heard people speak on that. Does it seem like the masses are waking up spiritually? The masses, the masses represent, if I'm not mistaken, the majority. If I'm wrong, let me know. But there are a lot of people waking up. I will admit to that. There's a lot of people that's waking up, because the lie can only exist for so long. The lie can only exist for so long, and people start to become dissatisfied with the current way that the world is being run. And when that happens, people start to seek knowledge. People start to seek alternative means of making their life and making the world a better place. So yeah, people are waking up, because the real devil is being revealed. And when the real devil is revealed, people are going, wow, this was the person all along who presented themselves to be holy and righteous and looking out for us. Now you see that they are lying. You see that they're lying about everything from food to medicine to religion to education, politics, God, everything. See? Open topic tonight, man. Anything y'all got, shoot it at me. I'm watching it as it scrolls. And whole bunch of talk about reptiles and reptilians tonight and reptoids. Yeah. Anything y'all got to ask your big brother. If I know it, I will show it. Elevation Allah. Peace, God. Blessings, man. All praise is due to Allah. I'm just a young cat trying to pass on what somebody told me, man. I don't know nothing. Already. Linda Dube, peace all the way from South Africa. Linda Dube, I think that's Dube if I'm pronouncing it right. South Africa been showing me a lot of love, man. I appreciate y'all for that. Matter of fact, let's do a check-in right now since we're thinking about that. Y'all drop y'all location. Drop y'all location. Let your big brother know where y'all at, man, so I can see the diversity, see all the pings in my mental map. I got a mental map of the world in my mind. And as y'all start dropping those locations, they just start pinging all over the place in my mind. So drop your locations and tell me where y'all at or where y'all from. And I can shout y'all out. I see you, Immense the Mad One. I see you. Peace to you. Bruce Banner in the building. Bruce Banner says, you know when you love someone and they make a mistake, you don't ghost them or hate them. You very next day, but ends up being a tower moment with any relation. I'm not getting everything you're saying, but maybe you're saying just hang in there with people. Just hang in there with people. And there are certain people that you should hang in there with if they make a mistake, but there are other people that what they done may have been a mistake, but their intentions or they don't have the remorse. They don't feel bad about it. Or if it's, I made a video about this the other day, Bruce, if it's repetitious behavior, you have to know when to pull out. When somebody is continuing a pattern of behavior that continues to mess over you, then you got to know when to pull out. Loyalty has a limit in certain instances, and unconditional love can even have a condition on it. I put that in a song a few years back. So the first love, when you say when you love someone, y'all answer this question in the chat. When you love someone, who is the first someone that you should be loving? Y'all answer that question. Who is the first someone that you should be loving? Okay. Luis Flores, I've heard about black popes and all that before. Haven't done a lot of research on it. Who's the first someone that you should be loving? Elijah Muhammad, The Secrets of Freemasonry. Go order that book. Do they have it on NOI.org, Brother Chris? Interesting. Boom. Now, let me put a disclaimer on that, because y'all are giving the answer that I had in my mind that I wanted to see y'all give. But a few people are saying the creator, a few people are saying God first. And absolutely. So let me remix it. Aside from the creator himself, who is the first someone that you should be loving? And that answer is yourself. You have to love you. But you can't love you until you know you. You got to learn. You got to become acquainted with yourself. You got to learn who you are in order to. You can't love something you unfamiliar with. See, that's why when you get into relationships and then you start to get to know this person and you start to develop these feelings for this person, like all of a sudden you, oh, I love him, I love her, because you've gotten in your mind, you've gotten to know that person. Then later on, when they disappoint you, you realize you didn't really know him at all. You thought you knew him and you gave that love, I love him. And you're going crazy and you're crying and about to slit your wrist and all this stuff behind an individual that you didn't even know at some point in your life. So how is it that a person that you didn't even know 5 years ago or 2 years ago or 10 years ago, how does that person have this kind of power over you all of a sudden? To where now that this person is in your life, you can't live without this person. You're going to die, go crazy without this person. You're going to do something rash if this person decides they don't want to be with you no more. That's because you're not loving yourself. That's all it is. Because if you grow to love yourself, then you say, okay, you know what? I'm hurt. I feel betrayed. I feel bad. They did me bad. They did me dirty. But at the end of the day, I still love me. And I have to move forward with me and look out for me and those who love me and the other people that I have love for. So I got to make sure I'm there for myself. Nobody should have that kind of power over you. And if you're watching this and somebody does have that kind of power, you need to shut that down. You need to fix that about yourself. No individual should have that kind of power over you to where their power over you is greater than God's power over you. You tripping with yourself. You tripping with yourself if somebody just got you just running. Man, you tripping with yourself. Get it together. See? LW says, I never get notifications anymore. You know what? People be telling me that, man. And I know my views be low on a lot of my videos. My views be pretty low on a lot of my videos. And, that's cool. But sometimes I be thinking there's some tampering going on with my stuff. I really believe that sometimes there's some tampering going on. So what I would suggest, and I told this to a couple of my homies, and it worked for them. I don't know if it's some correct formula, but unsubscribe and subscribe again, and then click the bell for the notifications, and maybe you'll start getting them. Some people get their notification days late, a week later. Man, so I saw the new video, and like, man, I posted that a week ago. Yeah. DNA, that's right. If you don't love you, you can't love nobody else. That's right, man. They go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. You are incapable of giving love to somebody if you haven't established who you are. See? Plain and simple. Find your purpose. Yep. Come on with it. Apocalyptic minister in the building, my brother. It's not selfish to be selfish. That's right. You got to be about self. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us about knowledge of self. Speaks on that a lot because of the importance of it. You cannot move forward in any capacity when you don't have a knowledge of yourself. See? This is what my dad has always told me, K-Rino, you can't love others if you don't love. Yeah, simple. Love of ourselves comes from confidence, and confidence is grown through promises that we keep to ourselves. Absolutely. Wise words spoken, Tristan. Yep. Jimi Hendrix says, hey, who have you been hanging out with, Kay? Who have I been hanging out with? Myself. And the same people I've been hanging out with for the past 30 years. I don't have no new friends, man. You reach a certain age in your life where you don't just make new friends. You're content with the friends you got, unless you are the type of person who can't keep friends. You have people in life that they destroy all of their relationships. They don't get along with nobody. They can't keep a friend. They can't keep a relationship. They can't keep a job. But sometimes, man, when you're just a regular even keeled person, you establish friendships, man, and those friendships last because you're not destroying them, and you being a true friend to those who are being true friends to you. So now at my age, I'm not 21, 22 years old no more. I got friends that I've been knowing since I was that age or younger, to where all my friends, man, we 25, 30 years deep in the game. So you reach that point, you're not really looking for new friends. Yeah. What y'all got? Open topic tonight, man. Open topic tonight. Whatever y'all got on y'all mind, anything y'all want to ask me. I just saw one and it went away. What do you think about the scientists saying this winter will be the worst in 150 years? What scientists? Who said it? So anytime information comes, we got to listen to the information, but we got to always check the source. They could be absolutely right, but I like to know who said it, what scientist said it. JB3, I see you. Have to love your neighbor as yourself. That scripture is a little more complex. See, Elevation Allah just hit it on the head. He says, he's talking about me. He says, your channel is probably shadow banned. And what y'all got to understand, that term shadow banned means that the system, this platform, they will intentionally have certain people, certain channels, certain platforms, they will intentionally keep them from getting the exposure that a lot of the other channels get due to the information that is presented on those channels. So while it's not official, while it's not even something that can be proven, but it's a shadow ban. They secretly on the cool, holding people back from being overly exposed. See, one of my videos, Grand Deception. Y'all who on this channel, y'all know me. Y'all are familiar with the song I did called Grand Deception. That song got uploaded on YouTube way back in 2009, I think. And as recently as just a few years ago, it was up to 1.8 million views. I've told this story before. It was up to 1.8 million views. I hadn't looked at the video in a while, but 1.8 was in my head. I came back months and months later, and I just glanced at it. I just wanted to see what the numbers was. I didn't even have a channel at that time. When I came back and looked at the video, it was at 1.7 million views. So I'm like, how does a video lose views? Did the 100,000 people some kind of way they eyes went in reverse and it made it to where they never saw the video? How do you unsee a video? How do 100,000 people or 100,000 views are unviewed? Just just reverse vision. So then time passed, some more time passed, and then I looked up and I was like, man, it's still at 1.7. And it stayed at 1.7 for the longest. Now you can't even find that version of Grand Deception. At least I couldn't find it. Couldn't even find that version of Grand Deception on YouTube no more. 1.7, now it's just gone. So I believe the shadow ban is real. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. That's something that I don't do. I may post, man, normally when I come live, man, I'm just going to be real with y'all. I post, I mean, man, I'm getting ready to jump on in 5 minutes. I don't really give a lot of advance notice that I'm getting ready to come on. And, you know, maybe I should start doing that to build up, to generate a little more viewership. Dollar Bill, my brother. Dollar Bill. He giving y'all game. He said, if y'all not getting notifications, he said, make sure that the bell is gray. Click twice to make sure you get all the notifications. He just gave me some game. I didn't know that. But that's my brother. And I know his heart. I know that's a good brother that just told y'all this. So I'm going to ride with what he just said. Yeah. Let's make it pop, man. Maybe not at 1 billion. Andrew Duffy said the shadow ban is real. They will obviously not admit to it, but they're doing it for sure. Yeah, I totally believe in it. Yeah, I totally believe. Not just me. I'm a lightweight, but I know sometimes they will try to prevent somebody from becoming a heavyweight. And this is one way to do it. See, all y'all believe in the shadow. If you believe in the shadow ban, just put a peace sign up for your big brother. If you believe it's real or you believe it's conspiracy theory, you believe it's conspiracy theory, oh man, they not doing that. Yeah, man, it's real. You know what? Jimi Hendrix just made a great point. He said, look at how they redirect towards garbage booty shake music. Yeah, sometimes, man, you could have stuff in your recommended videos. It's like, how did this get mixed in with the typical content that I normally watch? I'm normally looking at these types of videos, but as I see them on the side, then I'll see some booty shaking. It's like, how did that get mixed up in there? Just distractions and deflections and things to try to divert your attention. I see we got a pretty strong um, shadow band belief system up in this bad boy. Good game, good knowledge, elevation, Allah. Yeah. Self-image says, what do I think about the Rittenhouse case? You got to go back. I talked about that when I first jumped on. I didn't stay on it long, but if you go back once the chat is over with, you can hear my thoughts on it. It wasn't much, but I did speak on the Kyle Rittenhouse case. We live in America, man. We live in America, and America is, remember the clothing line FUBU? And FUBU stood for us, by us. America is not for us. And the system of laws are not by us. The policies are not by us, and they're not for us. So never be surprised when they look out for their own. Don't never be surprised. We got to do an OG salute real fast, man. Those of y'all who are familiar with my chat, man, who are familiar with my channel, y'all know that anytime a South Park Coalition OG steps in the room, anytime any OG steps in the room, I wouldn't care if somehow, some mystical, magical way, if Curtis Blow just came in my chat one time, we got to do an OG salute, because a lot of these people who would not be around. My brother KO is in the building, OG KO, man. So thumbs up, man. Y'all get a thumbs up, the peace sign, the power fist, the salutes, the 100s. Salute to my brother, man. Y'all make sure y'all show him some love, because the reason why I do this, because a lot of y'all that got love for me, y'all got to understand that I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing the way I do it if it wasn't for my brothers who was right there for me in the beginning and with me in the beginning, saw all my struggles, all my faults, all my downfalls, and suffered with me. And this brother KO, he suffered with me. We suffered together. We didn't have, it was times we didn't have food. It was times we didn't have money. You know, we was broke together. You know what I'm saying? It was times where, you know, we had to stand in the face of the war zone together, you know, all these different things, man. So this is South Park Coalition, ground floor individuals. So y'all shout my brother out, man. Appreciate that love, straight up. You know, we got, let me give y'all some game real quick. This for all of y'all, man. Y'all gotta always continue to rock with the ones who was there for y'all from day one, who was there with y'all from day one. You know, y'all may have friends. You might have moved out of state. You might not even hang with your homie. You might not have talked to your boy in 5 or 10 years, but never forget what they meant to your development, to your upbringing, to your uprising. Never forget that, because everything that you are of good and of bad, you know, somebody helped to contribute to that. But we speaking more on the good. Anything that you are, whatever levels of success that you enjoy, you didn't do that by yourself. Somebody contributed to that. Somebody said something to you along the way. Somebody told you the truth when other people was gassing you up and playing the yes man game. You know, somebody gave you money when you didn't have no money. Somebody fed you when you didn't have nothing to eat. You know, you can never forget about those people who helped you, you know, along the way. And it's easy for that to happen for a lot of people. Daniel Hayner says, are you going to make American Heroes Part 2? Man, I sure could. It's a lot that I left off. I didn't even scratch the surface on that song. I just touched on some of the basics, because I took it, if you remember how the song went down, I took it from the standpoint of just being in a classroom on basic, you know, teacher student stuff. So I kept it real simple. But if I did a different alternate version of that, I would go way more into depth, to where I would be mentioning names that people might not be familiar with, but I would still be mentioning the more names that people are familiar with, that have been perceived and presented to us as heroes But in reality, and that would include some of the iconic, famous actors, athletes, singers, all these different people, man, that everybody just holds up in such high regard and such reverence. But the truth of them would come through, and it would hurt a lot of feelings. It would break a lot of hearts, because, you know, the presentation that's given on TV, when the interviews and all, man, you would be surprised. Some of these people, man, are the worst of the worst, the lowest of the low. Would put black folks back in slavery tomorrow if they could. Yeah. See. Flow session number. I got a new album coming out, man. So I'm not gonna let the cat out the bag, Cadbury. I'm not gonna let the cat out the bag, but I do have a new album that will be out in January. And guess what the name? See, normally when I tell y'all I got a new album coming out, one of the first things that comes out of my mouth is I'm like, I don't have a title yet. But this is one of the few times that I got the title. I already got the title to my new album, man. I'm just debating on if I want to tell y'all this early. Yeah. Yeah, Apocalyptic. I just remember your video from last year when we heard about the many people that lost their life. Yeah, that freeze last year hit us pretty hard down here in Texas, because, you know, we're not used to that kind of cold down here. It don't get cold like that in Texas. And that freeze hit so hard. But what people don't understand is that it didn't have to hit that hard, because although it got super cold, it wasn't so much that the cold itself caused the problems. It did, but it didn't. What happened was that the grid that we were on in Texas, that grid was an independent grid, and they cut a lot of corners in how they operated that grid, and they did not want to, I guess they claimed they didn't want to overload the grid, so they did what they called rolling blackouts. And what the rolling blackouts was, not necessarily that the weather was knocking out electricity, is that the companies were intentionally selecting certain areas to shut off their electricity for a time. And in that time, you in your house freezing, you know, and a lot of spots got hit worse than others. So some people were without their electricity for days and days and days and weeks in some cases, while other places were out a day, 10 hours, 12 hours, and some didn't go out at all. So it's kind of like when you go back to Hurricane Katrina, it wasn't necessarily the hurricane that caused all the damage in New Orleans. It was when they blew up. That's what I said, when they blew up the levees, because the storm had already passed. But those levees that contained, that kind of held that water in check, they blew those levees, and they let all that water rush out into the inner city. And that's what caused a lot of that flooding, and had people on top of their houses and all this, because they were trying to protect the business areas of town. But, you know, that's why I say, man, you can't understand how evil these people's minds is, man. You know, you gotta understand. Somebody showed me some love. I'm trying to go back and find it. I don't never want to neglect when somebody bless my gang. Oh, my brother Codeine. Appreciate the love, Dean. He said, shout out to KO. What's up, man? Appreciate the love, man. Codeine, my brother. Y'all familiar with a song I did called Forensics way back in the day? He did a few other songs, but that's the one that stands out to me. When y'all see Dean TV, that's who made that beat, Forensics. And y'all go subscribe to my brother Dean TV. Subscribe to his channel, man. He be on there gaming with his son, man. It's real entertaining, real funny. Just a getaway, man. Appreciate the love, Andrew. Perfect World. I perform Perfect World at every show I do. Appreciate that. Let's get up to 100 likes, y'all. Get your big brother up to 100 likes. We're real close. So if you haven't hit the like button already, go on and click that thing and get me up to 100. Give me that honey bun. Give me that honey bun. Yeah, man. This is open topic tonight. Anything y'all want to ask, feel free. Anything you might want to comment on or ask me to elaborate on, feel free. We got to save our streets, man. Appreciate y'all on the likes. We got to save our streets. A lot of our young people are falling victim. We seen the murder of young Dolph the other day, and he is now a part of a long line of rappers, young rappers, who have been murdered senselessly, man. Senselessly. These brothers ain't dying from diabetes and sicknesses, and they not getting hit by buses and trains. These brothers are getting shot and murdered in the streets, man. And it's becoming so common that you can't keep up with it. You don't have time to mourn the last one before the next one has taken place. And one of the things that bothers me the most when I see these murders take place is how people try to capitalize off of it with some kind of other spin on it, some kind of agenda. People hit me up on, well, the numbers, it said it was 8 o'clock and then he had the number 8 on his shirt. Man, that man lost his life. So y'all want to play with these little theories and all this type of stuff, man. That's fine. You do what you do. But those things are not solving and bringing solutions to the problem of this violence that's going on out here. That seems to be the predominant mindset that people have is, what is the connection with this conspiracy and man, look, man, the connection in a lot of cases, and that's not to say that government doesn't issue out hits on people, and they've been doing that for years, assassinations and poisoning that's their MO. But sometimes it's just a simple case of ignorant brothers and sisters, let's just call it for what it is, taking a beef too far, taking it to the next level, and not factoring in not just the life of the person who they murder, but not even putting a value on their own life. Because eventually when they get caught, once they catch you, your life is basically over. Because now you're getting ready to go to jail for the rest of your life, or you're going to get the death penalty, or you're going to get a sentence that's so long you might as well be dead. So it's not worth it. And when y'all watch that interview I did with Point Blank, I don't give it away, but we kind of touched on that and touched on the mindset, and how our young people are more quicker to act in that manner. And it's unfortunate that our young people nowadays, a lot of our young rappers, are not getting the opportunity to live through that drama and to settle those beefs. And even if you don't ever talk to the person or deal with the person, you keep your distance from the person, you can reach a point of say, well, you know what? We had, but I ain't dealing with that cat no more. You get to live through it. You get to live through it, man. And they got children, man. They got families and mamas and daddies, man. These are parents burying 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds. In the case of young Dolph, he was 36. 36, something like that. You know. So it's a black eye on the game right now, man. It's a black eye on the game right now because we've been talking about self-love throughout this whole chat. We are not demonstrating that because the person who pulls the trigger, they don't know themselves. They don't love themselves. So in turn, they don't love that man who they put that bullet in. They don't love themselves. These are the things that got to be taught. There's no value. There's no hope. They don't feel like they got a chance to be nothing no way. So I might as well. Or if a little money is presented to them, I mean, I give you $20,000, you go take him out. $20,000 is a lot of money to somebody just living in the hood and ain't seeing that kind of money. That's a chance they'll take in the moment, not factoring in or calculating. They're gonna catch you. See, that's the thing. It's like somebody's gonna tell. It don't matter. It's man, some of the biggest, most notorious drug dealers, gangsters who had everybody in fear. If 1,000,000 people fear you, man, if everybody in your city fears you, it's gonna always be that one person who's gonna tell. They're not gonna fear you. Or they may be scared, but they just step up to the plate and do it anyway. So for the most part, you're gonna reach that part where, man, your life is gonna be in the balance. It ain't just about killing nobody. I'm talking about you selling dope, you robbing, stealing, whatever it is. Somebody always gonna tell, man. And you'll be sitting in prison sometimes, man, because the person, we talk about how young the rappers are, but the person who commits the murder is usually young too. And they grow to where now he's 35, he's been in prison for 15 years, and he understands his mistake. And he has remorse and regret for the mistake that he committed, but it's too late. Because his maturity level at that time was not there to process what the circumstance was going to be. We got to get them, man. We got to get our young people and bring them in. We got to bring them in. Do the best we can. Because the murderer got a mama. The murderer got a daddy, whether he's there or not. The murderer got children. Sometimes they will misconstrue in the understanding to be, well, man, I got children to feed, man. They give me 10 racks to kill this dude. I can take care of my family now. It's a twisted understanding. They got people they love too, but they understanding is twisted. Or you catering to a lifestyle and an ego or a pressure that even if you don't want to do it, you do it because I'm under pressure. These cats that's around me, they got me in a mold, they got me in a position where I almost better do it. You get in too deep. Charles Mills say you also got a different mindset when you're younger as well. That's right. Your mindset is of invincibility. Your mindset is that you know everything. Your mindset is that you got it. Anybody, they don't catch me. Daniel Hayner is sad too, because once they are institutionalized, they either don't know how to live on the outside or are more willing to do something to go back in. Yeah, that's for those who get out. Everybody don't even get out. Some people, man, 99 years, life sentence, no possibility of parole, death penalty. They don't get out. But you're talking about those who get out. Yeah, you're in there long enough. I've known people like that. They be in there so long and go right back in. Because, man, I can't function out here no more. Got a homie like that right now. Went out of jail a year. Killed somebody else, went right back in now. Crazy. Because they have grown more accustomed to those conditions on the inside, to where it has created a sense of security for them to be incarcerated. They feel more secure being incarcerated than they do being free. Because when you're free, you got responsibilities now. Even when you just get out, you got responsibilities, because now you got this monitor on your leg. You got to go see this parole officer every week or whatever the stipulations is. You got to make sure that you are here, there. You can't travel beyond a certain point. And then even when it comes off your leg, now you got to figure out, you got to get a job. Can't get a job because I'm a felon. Hard to get a job. I'm living with somebody because I've been gone 20 some years. I didn't have no house to come back and I'm just gonna move back into my house now. No. Now you living with somebody. They looking at you at a certain point, because they're like, man, you've been living, man. What you gonna do? So it's pressure. So they look at it like, man, at least when I was locked up, I'm gonna get fed regular. They not expecting none of this from me. I ain't gotta be feeling like I'm obligated to go do this. And it's sad. But that's the thought process for some of our brothers and sisters. See? But at the root of that, that's the very purpose of the system in the first place. That's exactly how they want us to be. Exactly how they want us to be. That's the whole lick to it. We're going to condition these Negroes to go through this revolving door. Recidivism. Heath says the cell life is easy. Even if I got beef with my cellie, then to keep peace. One move, but on the streets, I can't pick who up around me. First Ward Mech says, do you keep in contact with Pharaoh or street military? I haven't, I indirectly, I haven't spoken to Pharaoh through a letter or anything, but I talk to his brother all the time. I see his brother all the time because his brother is in business with my brother. So I check on him through those means and through other times I hear about him, but I haven't had any direct contact. Charles Mills says, but where you live plays a factor. If you have gang violence, you're entrapped. Just like drugs, you're in a drug-infested neighborhood, you're more likely to, yeah, absolutely. Your environment plays a lot into your personal circumstance, because it's real tough to duck and navigate around and through something that's everywhere you turn. It's in your face everywhere you turn. It's hard to navigate through that. Only if you do. Tough, man. Everybody's selling dope. Everybody's selling dope. Shh. It's hard to not sell it or do it. Everybody fighting in gangs. Okay, what you gonna be? Who you with? You'd have to be a recluse in certain cities. Our speech is a test on how wise you've become. Man. If you're in H-Town tomorrow, man, come rock out with us, man. We'll be performing at Point Blank's birthday bash at Cool Runnings, 8270 West Belford. If you're in Houston, come through and mess with us, man. It's going to be strong. The big brother will be performing live along with Point Blank. Point Blank hit the big 5-0. Big 5-0, man. It's a blessing. Go watch that Point Blank video. I want everybody on here to go watch that Point Blank video. It's less than an hour long. But it's pretty strong. It's pretty strong. Savage Mike. Savage Mike. What's your email address, Savage Mike? Before I go, send me your email address, Savage Mike. I need to holler at you. Drop that email address. Everybody on here who got a teenage child, just let me know in some kind of way, like a peace sign or something like that. If you got a teenage child, boom, boom, a teenage child, boy or girl, it don't matter. Boy or girl, 14. Y'all keep y'all head up, man, because the gravitational pull, the pull that's on these youngsters these days is unbelievable. And they're going through a lot. So you got to keep a close eye on them and keep monitoring them. But on the same token, you got to handle them in a way that you don't lose them, but also handle them in a way that you're not losing your respect as their parent. Because it's a strong pull. The pull is coming through this music, unfortunately. The music that's promoting a lifestyle that they become attracted to. Get them as early as you can, man. Because once the world get them, it's hard to get them back. It's hard to get them back. And like I said in the song, if the streets don't get you, then the police will. And if you end up in that system, hard to get them back. Savage Mike, send me your email address, brother. Appreciate y'all time, man. Peace.